Now listen, Mr. Kemper, I tell you for the 100th time that you will never marry my niece.
And I tell you for the 1000th time that I will marry you, and right soon, too.
Never! Boys, go practice under somebody else's window.
Your niece is of age, Mr. Vandergelder. She's consented to marry me. This is a free country, not a private kingdom of your own.
There are no free countries for fools, Mr. Kemper. I thank you for the honor of your visit. Good morning.
Mr. Vandergelder, would you please sit still 1 minute? If I try to throw it, be practically unintentional.
Ermengarde is not for you, nor for anybody else who can't support her.
I tell you I can support her. I make a very good living.
A living is made, Mr. Kemper, by producing something that everybody needs at least once a year.
Yes, but...
Yes, sir! And a million is made by producing something that everybody needs every day. You artists produce something that nobody needs at any time.
That's not true.
You may sell a picture every once in a while, but you'll make no living. Joe, go over there and stand 3 times. I want to talk to Cornelius.
Not only can I support her now, but I have considerable expectations.
Expectations? We merchants don't do business with them. I don't keep accounts with people who promise to pay somehow, someday. And I certainly won't allow my niece to marry such people. No, Mr. Kemper. You go back to your studio, and when you finish painting your sunset on the Hudson, why don't you try hope feeding a family? Or how about love melting a snowbank? Now there's a subject for you.
Very well. From now on, you might as well know that any way we can finally get married is considered right and fair. Ermengarde is a maid, Mr. Vandergelder, and there's no law that says...
Law? Let me tell you something about the law, Mr. Kemper. We men of sense are there to prevent foolishness, and the law is there to prevent crime. It is I, and not the law, that will prevent you from marrying my niece. And I've taken a few steps already. I've sent her away.
You sent her away?
Yes, to get this nonsense out of her head.
Ermengarde's not here?
Oh, you can try Peekskill or Albany. Try Syracuse or Utica. I thank you for the honor of your visit.
Everything's ready, Mr. Vandergelder. I just finished the trunk. Ermengarde's been helping me.
Hold your tongue!
Yes, Mr. Vandergelder. Ermengarde's already cleaned her sweet piece of smart hair. Mace Van Houston, 8 Jackson Street, New York.
Hell and damnation! Didn't I tell you it was a secret?
Care Miss Van Heusen, 8 Jackson Street, New York. Thank you very much. Good morning.
It won't help you, Mr. Kemper. Death! At least you could do me the favor of being dumb!
Chink, chink, such a temper, Lord, sing a song.
Yes, Cornelius, have the buggy brought around to the front of the station in half an hour.
Yes, Mr. Vandergelder.
Wait! Gertrude, has Mrs. Levi arrived yet?
Don't shout, I can hear you perfectly well. Certainly the labels on her luggage are marked.
Cornelius, this afternoon I'm going to New York. And this morning I'm leading my lodge parade down to Spoon Deville. But before I go, I need to talk to you. Good news. I'm going to promote you. How old are you?
33, Mr. Vandergelder.
What?
33.
That all? That's a foolish age to be at. I thought you were 40.
No, I'm 33.
A man's not worth a cent until he's 40. We just pay him wages to make mistakes. Ain't that right, Joe?
You almost lost an ear on it, Mr. Vandergelder.
I was thinking of promoting you to chief clerk.
What am I now?
You're an impertinent fool, that's what you are. Now if you behave yourself, I'll promote you from impertinent fool to chief clerk, with the raise in your wages. And they'll promote Barnaby from idiot apprentice to incompetent clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Vandergelder.
However, I still want to talk to you before I go. Go and get my niece's trunk and take it over to the station.
Yes, Mr. Vandergelder.
Joe, the world's getting crazier every minute. Like my father used to say, the horse will be taking over the world soon. Fine.
I did what I could, Mr. Vandergelder. What with you flying in and out of the chair?
Fine. You do a fine job, Joe. The same fine job you've done me for 20 years. I've got special reasons for looking my best today. Isn't there something a little extra you could do? Something a little special?
Huh?
I'll pay you right up to 50 cents, see what I mean? Do something I see you doing to the young fellas. Touch me up. Smart me up a bit.
All I know is 15 cents worth like usual, Mr. Vandergelder, and that includes everything that's decent to do to a man.
Now hold your horses, Joe. All I meant
I've
was...
seen you for 20 years and you never asked me no such question before, and I don't intend to.
Now hold your horses, Joe. All I ask of you is a little extra because... Come here. I'm going to tell you a secret, but I don't want you telling it to that riffraff down to the barber shop what I'm about to tell you now. I'm thinking of getting married again. And this afternoon I'm going to New York to call on my intended. A very refined lady.
You're getting married is none of my business, Mr. Vandergelder. I've done everything to you I know, and the charge is 15 cents worth like usual. And I don't dye no hair, not even for 50 cents I don't.
Joe Stanlin, get out!
And that onions and bad judges are to onions and great. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Mr. Vanderbilt.
The world is going to pieces. The asylums can't hold them all. Well, what do you want?
Uncle, you said you wanted to talk to us.
Oh, yes. Gertrude, go and get my parade regalia, the uniform for my lodge parade.
What? Oh, yes. Lord have mercy.
Ermengarde, I talked to that artist of yours.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. He's a fool. Weeping. You can go down to New York and weep for a while where it won't be noticed. Ermengarde. I told him that when you were old enough, you would marry someone who can support you. I've done you a good turn. You'll thank me when you're 50.
But, Uncle, I love him.
I tell you, you don't.
But I do.
And I tell you, you don't. Leave those things to me.
If I don't marry Ambrose, I know I'll die.
What of?
A broken heart.
Never heard of it. Mrs. Levi is coming to take you to New York for 2 or 3 weeks. You'll be staying with an old friend of your mother's, Miss Flora Van Heusen. You are not to receive any letters except from me. I'm coming to New York myself today, and I'll call on you tomorrow. Who are you?
Malachi Stack, Your Honor. I heard you wanted an apprentice in the hay. Be proficient in hardware business.
An apprentice at your age?
Yes, Your Honor. I bring a lot of experience to it.
Have you any letters of recommendation?
Yes, indeed, Your Honor. First class recommendation.
Ermengarde, are you ready to start?
Yes.
Well, go and get ready some more. Wait, Ermengarde, let me know the minute Mrs. Levi arrives.
Yes, Uncle Horace.
I don't need an able seaman, nor a typesetter, and I don't want a hospital cook.
No, Your Honor, but it's all experience. Excuse me. This one is from your former partner, Josh Van Toolen out.
Oh, Van Tool. For the most part, hardworking and reliable. Occasionally willing and diligent. There seems to be a certain amount of hesitation about these recommendations.
Businessmen aren't writers, Your Honor. There's only one businessman in 1,000 that could write a good letter of recommendation. Mr. Van Tool sends his best wishes and wants to know if you can use me in your provision and hardware business.
Not so fast, not so fast. Tell me, what brings you up to Yonkers?
Well, I heard that you had an apprentice that was good for nothing, and that you were at your wit's end for another.
Wit's end? Wit's end? There's no dearth of good-for-nothing apprentices.
That's right, Your Honor. It's employers there's a dearth of. Seems like you hear a new one dying every day.
What's that? Hold your tongue! I see you've been a barber, and a valet too. Tell me, why have you changed your place so often?
Change my place? Mr. Van Gelder, when a man's interested in experience.
Do you drink?
No, thank you. I've just had breakfast.
I didn't ask whether... Idiot! I asked whether you were a drunkard.
No, sir. No. While looking at it from all sides, I don't even like liquor.
Well, if you keep looking at it from all sides, out you go. Remember that. Here, despite all your faults, I'm going to give you a try.
You'll never regret it, Mr. Van Gelder. You'll never regret it.
Now, I'm going to New York today, and I could use your help. I trust you know your way around New York.
Do I know New York? Mr. Van Gelder, I know every hole and corner in
Here's $1.
Thanks.
A train leaves in a minute. Take that bag over to the Central Hotel on Water Street. Have them save me a room. Wait for me. I'll be there around 4 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Oh, but first I'd like to meet the other clerks on the work.
There isn't time. Hurry now. The station's across the street.
Yes, sir. You'll see, sir. You'll never regret it.
I regret it already. Go on. Off with you.
Yes, sir.
99% of the world are fools, and the rest of us are in great danger of contagion. But I wasn't always free of foolishness as I am now. I was once young, which was foolish. I fell in love, which was foolish. I got married, which was foolish. And for a while I was poor, which was more foolish than all the other things put together. Then my wife died, which was foolish of her. And then I grew older, which was sensible of me. And then I grew rich, which is as sensible as it is rare. Since you see I'm a man of sense, I guess you're wondering why I'm getting married. Well, I have two reasons for it. In the first place, I like my home run with order, comfort, and economy. That's a woman's work, but even a woman can't do it well if she's merely being paid for it. Marriage is a bribe to make the housekeeper think that she's the householder. Have you ever seen an ant carry a burden twice its size? What excitement, what patience, what will? Well, that's what I think of when I see a woman running a house. What giant passions in those little bodies. What quarrels with the butcher for the best cut. What fury at discovering a moth in a cupboard. Believe me, if women can harness their natures towards more than a house and a baby carriage, they'd change the world. And the second reason, ladies and gentlemen, well, I can see by your face you've guessed it already. There's nothing like mixing with women to bring out all of the foolishness in a man of sense. And that's a risk I'm willing to take. I've just turned 60 and I've just laid side by side the last dollar of my first $500,000. So if I should lose my head a little, I still have enough to buy it back. After years of caution and hard work, I feel I've earned the right to a little risk and adventure. And I'm thinking of getting married again. Yes, like all you other fools, I'm willing to risk a little security for a certain amount of adventure. Think it over.
To get married.
Oh, Ambrose, I can't do that.
Why not?
Ambrose, dear, it wouldn't be proper.
Listen, I'm taking you to my friend's house. His wife will take care of you.
But Ambrose, a girl can't go on a trade with a man. I can see you don't know anything about girls.
But I'm telling you, we're going to get married.
Married? But what would Uncle say?
We don't care. We don't care what Uncle says. We're eloping.
Ambrose, temper. How can you use such an awful word?
Remember, guy, you have the soul of a field mouse.
Ambrose, why do you say such cruel things to me?
For the last time, I beg you, get your hat. The train leaves in just a few minutes.
Good morning, darling girl. How are you? Oh, good morning, Mrs. Levi. And who is this gentleman who is so devoted to you, huh? This is Mr. Kemper, Mrs. Levi. Ambrose, this is Mrs. Levi. Mrs. Levi, born gal girl. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Kemper. Mr. Kemper. The artist, delighted. Mr. Kemper, may I say something very frankly?
Yes, Miss.
This thing you're planning on doing is a very great mistake. Oh, Mrs. Levi, please explain to Ambrose. Of course, I want to marry him, but to elope? Now, my dear girl, you go keep one eye on your uncle. I wish to speak to Mr. Kemper for a moment. You give us a warning when you hear your Uncle Horace coming. Mr. Kemper, I was this dear girl's mother's oldest friend. Believe me, I'm on your side. I hope you two will be married very soon. I think I can say I can be of real assistance to you. Mr. Kemper, I always go right to the point.
What is the point, Mrs. Levi?
Mr. Vandergelder is a very rich man, and Ermengarde is his only relative.
Oh, I am not interested in Vanderbilt. I can make enough to support a wife and a family.
Enough? How much is enough when one is thinking about children in the future? The future's most expensive luxury in the world, Mr. Kemper.
What is the point?
Believe me, Mr. Vandergelder wishes to get rid of Ermengarde, and if you follow my suggestions, he will even permit you to marry her. You see, Mr. Vandergelder is planning on getting married himself.
What? That monster?
Mr. Kemper.
Married to you, Mrs. Levi.
Oh, no. I'm merely arranging it. I'm helping Mr. Vandergelder find a suitable bride.
For Mr. Vanderbilt, there are no suitable brides.
I think we can safely say that Mr. Vandergelder will be married to someone by the end of next week.
Well, what do you suggest?
I'm taking Ermengarde with me to New York on the next train. I shall not take her to Miss Van Heusen's as planned. I shall take her to my house. I wish you to call for her at 5:30 at my house. Here's my card.
Dolly Levi, varicose veins reduced.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I meant to give you my other card.
Dolly Levi, Aurora hosiery, instruction in the guitar and the mandolin. You do all these things, Mrs. Levi?
2 and 2 make 4, Mr. Kemper. They always did. So you will come to my house at 5:30. At about 6, I will take you both with me to the Harmonia Gardens restaurant in the Battery. Mr. Vandergelder will be there and everything will be arranged.
How do I know I can trust you? You could easily make our situation much worse.
Mr. Kemper, Your situation could not possibly be worse.
I wish I knew what you got out of this, Mrs. Levi.
That is a very proper question. I get two things, profit and pleasure.
How?
Mr. Kemper, I'm a woman who arranges things. At present, I'm arranging Mr. Vandergelder's domestic affairs. Out of it, I get, shall we call it? Yes, why don't we? Little pickings. I need little pickings, Mr. Kemper, especially just now, as I haven't got my trade fare back to New York. You see, I am frank with you.
So there's your profit, but where do you get the pleasure?
My pleasure? Mr. Kemper, when you artists paint a hillside or a river, you change everything a little, don't you?
Yes.
Nature's never quite satisfactory, and therefore must be corrected. Well, I am like you artists. Life as it is simply is interesting enough for me. I'm bored, Mr. Kemper, with life as it is, and so I do things. I put a hand in here and a hand in there, and I watch, and I listen, and am often very amused.
Not in my affairs.
Wait, I haven't finished. I'm very interested in this household here, in Mr. Vandergelder and all that idle, frozen money of his. I don't like the thought of it lying in great heaps and piles, useless, motionless in the bank, Mr. Kemper. Money should flow and circulate like rainwater. It should flow in and among lots of people's lives. It should flow through dressmakers and restaurant owners and cabmen, setting up a little business here and furnishing a good time there. Do you see what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And you and Mr. Vandergelder figure things out, or you and Ermengarde take off. You'll end up getting some of his money, and you'll see how it starts flowing in and around lots of people's lives. Mrs. Levi, Uncle Horace is coming. Mr. Kemper, you better be going. Ermengarde, Mr. Kemper and I have had a wonderful talk. You'll see, Mr. Vandergelder and I will be dancing at your wedding very soon. Mr. Vandergelder, how handsome you look. You take my breath away. Yes, my dear girl, I'll see you soon. Mr. Vandergelder, I wish Irene Malloy could see you now. Then again, I don't know what's come over you. You seem to be growing younger every day.
Allowing for exaggeration, Mrs. Levi, if a man eats right, there's no reason he should ever look old.
You never said a truer word.
I'll never see 55 again.
55? Why, I can see at a glance that you're the sort that'll be standing around at 100 and eating 5 meals a day. Just like, what's his name? My Uncle Harry. At 55, my Uncle Harry was a mere boy. I'm a judge of hands, Mr. Vandergelder. Let me see your hand. Lord in heaven, what's a lifeline?
Where?
From here to here. It goes right off your hand. I don't know where it goes. That'll to hit you over the head with a mallet. That'll to stifle you with a sofa pillow. You'll bury us all. However, to return to our business, I suppose you've given up all thought of getting married again.
Not at all, Mrs. Levi. I have news for you.
News?
Yes. I've practically decided to ask Mrs. Malloy to be my wife.
You have?
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have. Oh, well, I guess that's just about the best news I've ever heard. Oh my, there's nothing more for me to do but wish you every happiness under the sun and say goodbye.
Well, Mrs. Levi, surely
Well, I
thought...
did have a little suggestion to make, but I won't. You're going to marry Irene Malloy, and that closes the matter.
What suggestion was that, Mrs. Levi?
Well, I had found another girl for you.
Another?
The most wonderful girl, the ideal wife.
Another, eh? What's her name?
Her name?
Yes.
Her name! Ernestina Simple. Miss Ernestina Simple. But now, of course, that's all too late. After all, you are engaged. Why, you're practically engaged to marry Irene Malloy.
Oh, I ain't engaged to Mrs. Malloy.
Nonsense! You can't break poor Irene's heart now and change to another girl. When a man at your time of life calls 4 times on an attractive widow like that and sends her a pot of geraniums, why, that's practically an engagement right there.
Oh, that ain't an engagement.
And yet, if only you were free, I found this treasure of a girl. Every moment I felt like a traitor to Irene Malloy. But let me tell you, I couldn't help it. I told her all about you, just as though you were a free man. Isn't that dreadful? The fact is, she's fallen in love with you already.
Ernestina?
Ernestina Simple.
Ernestina Simple.
Now, of course, she's a very different idea from Mrs. Malloy. Ernestina is like her name. Simple, domestic, practical.
Can she cook?
Can she cook, Mr. Vandergelder? I've had 2 meals from her hands, and as I live, I don't know what I've done that gosh reward me with such meals. I'm the best cook in the world myself, and I know what's good.
How old is she?
19, well, let's see.
20? Girls of 20 are apt to favor younger fellows.
But you don't listen to me, and you don't know the girl. Why, she has a positive horror of flighty, brainless young men. A fine head of gray hair, she says, is worth 20 shiny future.
That's not usual, Mrs. Levi.
Usual? I'm not wearing myself to the bone hunting up usual girls that interest you, Mr. Van de Gelder. Usual indeed. Do you know the sorts of pictures she has on her wall? Is it these young Romeos and Lochinvars? No. It's Moses on the mountain. That's what she's got. If you want to impress her, you give her a picture of Methuselah surrounded by his grandchildren. That's my advice to you.
What's her family?
Her father? God be good to him, he was the best. What am I trying to say? Undertaker! The best undertaker in Brooklyn. Respected, esteemed. He knew all the best people. Knew them well. Well, even before they died. Well, that's the way it is. Now let me tell you her appearance. Can you hear me as I say a beautiful girl? Beautiful girl. I've seen her walk down the street. The young men get dizzy, they have to lean against lampposts. And she, modest eyes on the ground. I'm not going to tell you anymore. Couldn't you come over to New York today?
Actually, I was thinking of coming up to New York today.
You were? Well, perhaps something could be arranged. Oh, she's so eager to meet you.
Could I interest you two ladies in a little dinner, perhaps?
Really? Well, come to think of it, I don't know where I can find the time. I've been so busy over that wretched lawsuit of mine. Yes, if I win it, I don't mind telling you. I'd be what's called a very rich woman. I don't have the Staten Island, and that's a fact. But just now, I'm at my wit's end for a little help. Just enough money to finish it off. My wit's end? Well, perhaps I could arrange a little dinner. Yes, as for that lawsuit of mine, all I need is $50 and Staten Island's as good as mine. I've been trotting all over New York trying to find you a suitable bride.
$50?
2 whole months I've been.
$50, Mrs. Levi, is no joke. I don't know where the money's going to these days. There's 20. Well, there's 25. I can't spare no more. Not now, I can't.
Well, this will help. Will help somewhat. Now, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll bring Ernestina with me to that restaurant at the Battery. You know it. The Harmonia Gardens. It's good, but not flashy. Now, Mr. Vandergelder, it'd be real nice if just this once you'd order a real nice dinner.
Just this once.
A chicken wouldn't hurt.
Chicken? Just this once.
And some wine.
Wine? Just this once.
And as for Mrs. Malloy, shall we call that subject closed?
Not at all. I want to have dinner with Miss...
Simple.
with Miss Simple. But first I want to make another call on Irene Malloy.
Dear, dear, dear. And Miss Simple, what races you make me run. Very well. I will meet you in front of Mrs. Malloy's hat store at 4:30 as usual.
The buggy's here ready for the parade, Mr. Vandergelder.
Good. Go in and get Barnaby. I want to talk to you both.
Yes, Mr. Vandergelder.
Now, Mr. Vandergelder, do put your thoughts in order. I can't keep upsetting the finest women in New York unless you mean business.
I mean business, all right.
I hope so. I should hope so, because you know you're playing a very dangerous game.
Dangerous? Dangerous, Mrs. Levi?
Of course it's dangerous, and there's a name for it. You are tampering with these women's affections for you, aren't you? And the only way you can get out of it now is to be married to someone by the end of next week. So think that over.
This morning I'm leading my lodge parade, and this afternoon I'm going to New York. When I come back, there's going to be some changes around here. Now I'll tell you what those changes are, but I don't want you discussing it amongst yourselves. You're going to have a mistress.
I'm too young, Mr. Vandergelder.
Not yours, idiot. Mine.
Many congratulations.
Hold your tongue until you're spoken to. You too.
Many congratulations, Mr. Vandergelder. And my compliments to the lady.
That's none of your business. Now go back to the store and attend it as usual. Wait. Before I go, do either of you have any questions?
Mr. Vandergelder.
Yes?
Mr. Vandergelder.
What?
Does the chief clerk get one evening off every week?
So that's the way you begin being chief clerk, is it? When I was your age, I woke up at 5, and then I didn't close the store until 10, and then I put in a good hour at the account books. You elegant ladies lie in bed until 6 o'clock, and at 9 o'clock at night, you rush to close the door so fast the customers bark their noses. No, you will attend to the store as usual, and at 10 o'clock on Friday and Saturday nights, you will close it. Now hear what I say. This is the first time I've been away from the store overnight. If I hear of any foolishness when I come back, I'll discharge you. An evening free. If you keep asking for evenings free, you'll end up with all your days free. Remember that. And don't forget to put the lid on the sheep din.
The horses nearly ran away when they saw him. There he goes! Yes! Wait, what's wrong, Cornelius?
Chief clerk. I'm being promoted from chief clerk to chief clerk.
Don't you like it?
Chief clerk! And if I'm good in 10 years, I'll get promoted to chief clerk again. 33 years old and I still don't get an evening free. I mean, when am I going to be able to live?
You can begin to live on Sundays, Cornelius.
That's not living. Why is the church with old wolf traps eyes in the back of my head the whole time? And as for holidays, what did we do last Christmas? All those canned tomatoes went bad and exploded. We had to clean the mess up all afternoon. Is that living?
Oh,
Pardon me, how much money have you got?
$3? Why?
You and I are going to New York.
Well, we can't. Close the store?
Some more rotten tomatoes are going to explode.
Holy cabooses! How do you know?
I know they're rotten. All you have to do is light a candle under them. They'll make such a smell that customers can't come into the place for 24 hours. That'll give us an evening free. We're going to New York too, Barnaby. We're going to live. I'm going to have enough adventures to last me until I'm partner. So go and get your Sunday clothes on.
What?
Yes, I mean it. We're going to have a good meal. We're going to be in danger. We're going to get all of our money spent. We're going to get all of us arrested.
Holy
One more thing. We're not coming back to Yonkers until we've kissed a girl.
Kissed a girl? Cornelius, you can't. You don't know any girls.
I'm 33. Gotta begin sometime.
I'm only 17. It's not so urgent for me.
Don't start backing down now. Even if the worst comes to the worst and we get discharged, you can always join the army.
Did I hear you say you'd be the old Wolfstrap's partner?
How can I help it? He's getting old. You go to bed at 9, open the store at 6, you get promoted upwards whether you like it or not.
My partner.
You and I are going to be Vandergelders.
I'm at Brazil, but I'll never be a Vandergelder.
Listen, everybody thinks when he becomes rich, he'll be a different kind of rich person than the people he sees around him. Later on, he finds out there's only one kind of rich person, and he's it.
Oh, but
No. The best would be a person who has all the good things a poor person has, and all the good meals a rich person has. But that's never been known. No, you and I are going to be Vandergelders. So all the more reason for us to try and get some living and adventure into us now. Will you come to New York?
yes, Cornelius!
Yes!
Mr. Hagler, the bag's waiting at the train station.
Yes, Mrs. Levi.
Say goodbye, Ermengarde. What? Say goodbye to your girlhood home. I remember when I left my home. I gave a whinny like a young colt and off I went.
Oh, Gertrude, do you really think I ought to get married this way?
A young girl has to be so careful.
Oh, Lord.
With blue wallpaper. Yes, in blue.
It's all clear up here, Cornelius. Wait, hold the candle steady a minute. The bottom was right. Try the top now. There's blowing up like they're ready to burst. Ah! Holy cabooses! Oh, Cornelius, I can smell it up here.
Your Sunday clothes, Barnaby. We're going to New York.
Minnie, you're a fool. Of course I shall marry who Not ugly enough. I couldn't sell it. Put a sponge on it. Why, Mrs. Malloy, you're in such a mood today. In the first place, I shall marry Mr. Vanderbilt to get away from the millinery business. I hated it from the first day I had anything to do with it. Minnie, I hate hats. Why, what's the matter with the millinery business? I can no longer stand being suspected of being a wicked woman. Well, I have nothing to show for it. I just can't stand it. No one would dream of suspecting you. Minnie, you're a fool. All milliners are suspected of being wicked women. But half the time, all those women come to the shop merely to look at me. Oh. They enjoy the suspicion. But they aren't certain. If they were certain I was a wicked woman, they wouldn't put foot in this place again. Do I go to restaurants? No, it would be bad for business. Do I go to balls, or theaters, or operas? No, it would be bad for business. The only men I would be are feather bridges. Those two men doing out there on that park bench. Take my word for it, Minnie. Either I marry Mr. Vanderbilt or I break out of this place like fire and I'll go to every ball and theater and opera in New York City. But Mr. Vandergelder's not. Speak up, Minnie. I can't hear you. I don't think he's attractive. But what I think he is, and it's very important, I think he'd make a good fighter. Miss Malloy! Mark my words, Minnie. The best of married life is the fights. The rest is really useless. I won't listen. Now, Peter Malloy, God rest him, was a fine arguing man. I pity the woman whose husband slams the door and walks out of the house at the beginning of an argument. Peter Malloy would stand up and fight for hours on end. He'd even throw things at me, and there's no pleasure equal to that. When I felt tired, I'd start a good blood-warming fight, and it would take 10 years off my age. Now, Horace Vanderbilt would put up a good fight. I know. I've a mind to marry him. They're just awful, the things you're saying today. Well, I'm enjoying them myself, too. So remember what it was with you and Nelia? You just made the promise of drinking when Miss Malloy. Those two men out in the street. What? Those men. It looks as if they meant to come in here. Well, now, it's time some young men came into this place. I give you the younger one, Minnie. Aren't you terrible? Wait till I get my hands on that older one. Mark my words, and we will get an adventure out of this. Adventure. Why does everyone have adventures except me, Minnie? It's because I have no spirit. I have no gumption. Quick, Minnie, they're coming in here. Oh, let's go to the work. Wait, my work. No, Mrs. Malloy, work off. Be quick now. No.
No one's here.
Some women were here a minute ago. I saw them. That's Vanderbilt, all right. We'll just have to hide here until he passes by.
He's sitting down on a bench. It may be quite a while.
When these women come in, we'll make conversation with them until he's gone away. We'll pretend we're buying a hat. How much money have you got?
I have 70 cents for the train, 40 cents for dinner, 20 cents to see the whale, and $1. I have 70 cents.
And I have $1.75. Wish I knew how much hats cost.
Is this an adventure, Cornelius?
No, but it may be.
I think it is. There we wander around New York all day. Then, reaching the quietest street in the whole city, and suddenly, Mr. Vanderbilt turns the corner. I think it's an adventure. Cornelius! Is that Miss Levi sitting on the bench with him?
What do you know about that? We only know one person in all New York City, and there she is.
Even if our adventure came along now, I'd be too tired to enjoy it. Cornelius, what's this an adventure?
Don't be asking that. When you're in an adventure, you'll know all right.
Maybe I won't. Cornelius, let's arrange a signal for you to give me a visit of rent, an adventure. For instance, you would say pudding. You would say pudding to me a visit of rent, adventure.
I wonder where the lady who runs the store is. What's her name again?
Miss Malloy, that's for ladies.
Oh, yes. I must go over what I'm going to say when she comes in. Good afternoon, Mrs. Malloy. Wonderful weather we're having. We've been looking everywhere for some beautiful hats.
That's fine, Cornelius.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Malloy. Wonderful. We'll make her think we're very rich. Good afternoon, Mrs. Malloy. Wonderful weather. We've been looking. Keep your eye on the road. Good afternoon, Mrs. Malloy. Wonderful weather we're having. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Have I kept you waiting? Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Here, are you in Sago?
Here, Barnaby Tiger.
I'm very happy to meet you. Perhaps I can help you. Sit down.
Thank you. We will. You see, Mrs. Malloy, we're looking for hats.
Is that so?
We looked everywhere. You know what they said? Go to Miss Malloy, they said. So we came here. Only place we could go.
Oh, now that's very complimentary.
And we were right. Everybody was right.
You wish to choose some hats for a friend?
Yes, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
We were thinking of 5 or 6, weren't we, Barnaby?
5!
You see, Mrs. Malloy, money's no object with us. Not at all.
Why, Mr. Hackle.
I beg your pardon, Mrs. Malloy. What an attractive shop you have. And a street, too. Passers-by, and there's just, oh, I don't know.
You're from out of town, Mr. Hackle.
Yes, ma'am. Barnaby, just keep your eye on the street, will you? You won't see that in Yonkers every day.
Yes, I will.
Not all of it.
Now, this friend of yours, Mr. Hackle, couldn't she come in with you one day and choose her hats herself?
No. It's a surprise for her.
Indeed. That may be a little difficult, Mr. Hackle. It's not entirely customary. Your friend is very interested in the street, Mr. Hackle.
Yes, he has a reason to be.
You're from out of town?
Yes, ma'am. We're from Yonkers.
Yonkers?
Yes, Yonkers. You should know Yonkers, Mrs. Malloy. Hudson River, Palisades, Drives. Some say it's the most beautiful town in the world. That's what they say.
Is that so? Now to show you some more hats.
Is there, have you, maybe Mr. Malloy would like to see Yonkers too?
I'm a widow, Mr. Hackle.
You are? Well, that's too bad. Mr. Malloy would see you in Yonkers.
Very likely. Now this friend of yours, Mr. Hackle, is she light or dark?
Don't think about that for a second. Any hat you would like, perfectly all right with her.
Really? Do you like this one?
Barnaby, look!
That's fine.
Mrs. Malloy, that's the most beautiful hat I ever saw.
Your friend is acting very strangely, Mr. Hackle.
Barnaby, stop acting strangely. The street's quiet and empty. Come back and talk to us. Where was I? Oh yes, you should know Yonkers, Mrs. Malloy.
The fact is, I know someone from Yonkers. Perhaps you know him. It's always so silly to ask in cases like that, isn't it? So, Mr. Vanderbilt.
What was it you said?
And you did know him.
Horace Vandergelder?
Yes, that's right.
Know him, why? No! What an attractive shop you have. And where does this store lead to?
Why, Mr. Hackle, that's my work room.
Everything here is so interesting. Every door, every corner, Mrs. Malloy. Deeply interesting. Coats for ladies. Barnaby, make note of this table. Precious piece of furniture with a low-hanging cloth I see.
Mr. Vanderbilt is a very substantial man and very polite, they tell me.
A lovely man, Mrs. Malloy.
Oh, yes. Charming, charming.
Has only one fault as far as I know. He's hard as nails. But apart from that, a charming natured man.
And a large circle of friends.
Yes, indeed, 5 or 6.
5!
He comes and calls in you from time to time, I suppose.
This summer, we'll be wearing ribbons down our backs. Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm expecting a call from him this afternoon. Now to show you some more hats. Mr. Hackle, what are you doing? Come out of there this minute.
Help us just this once. We'll explain everything later.
Cornelius, complete Miss Floyd.
Gentlemen, really, I can't have this. What are you doing?
Cornelius! Pudding!
Darling child, how are you? How can we go to us how well you look?
What a surprise. I'm Mr. Vanderbilt in New York. What a pleasure.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Malloy.
Yes, Mr. Vanderbilt is in New York. Yonkers lies up there decimated today. Irene, we thought we'd pay you a very short call. Now you'll tell us if it's inconvenient, won't you?
Inconvenient, Dolly. Why, it's sweet of you come?
We waited outside a moment.
Mr. Vandergelder thought he saw 2 customers come in. 2 men.
Men. Men, Mr. Vandergelder. What will you be saying next?
Well, then we'll sit down for a minute or 2.
Before you do that, I have something I want to show you. I want to show Mr. Vandergelder my workroom.
Oh, I've seen the workroom 1,000 times. I'll stay right here and try on some of these hats.
No, Dolly, you come too. I have something for you. Mr. Vandergelder, I need your advice. You don't know how helpless a woman in business is these days. I feel I need advice from a fine businesshead like yours every minute. Now I shut the door.
wants us to go, Cornelius?
Certainly I won't go. Mrs. Malloy would think we're such foolish fellows. All I want to do is to stretch a minute.
What are we going to do when Mr. Vandergelder goes?
Well, I don't know yet. I like Mrs. Malloy a lot. I wouldn't want her to think badly of me. We can buy a hat. We can walk up to Yonkers, even if it takes us all night. I wonder how much hats cost. Martin, give me all the money you've got. How much do you have? Oh, yes, you told me already. Oh, my. All those perfumes in this cupboard tickle my nose. But I like it in there.
It's a woman's world and very different.
Yeah, I like it where I am too. Only, I like it better. I had a pillow.
Here, take one of these clothes. I'll roll it up for you so it doesn't get mussed. Ladies like to have their coats mussed.
That'll be fine, Cornelius. Now we can just lie here and hear Mr. Vandergelder talk.
This summer, we'll be wearing ribbons on our backs.
She's on Cornelius.
Isn't the world full of wonderful things? There we sit, cooped up in Yonkers, years and years. And all the time, wonderful people like Mrs. Malloy are walking around New York, and we don't know them at all. I don't know from where you're sitting you can see or not. For instance, the way her eye and cheek and forehead come together up here. Can you? The kind of fireworks that shoot out of her eyes all the time. I tell you right now, a fine woman is the greatest work of God. You can talk all you want about Niagara Falls and the pyramids, but they aren't in it at all. Of course, up in Yonkers, they came into the store and bought this and that, and I said, yes, ma'am, that'll be 75 cents, ma'am. And I watched them. But today I talked to one, equal to equal. Equal to equal. And to the finest one that ever existed, in my opinion. They're so different from men. Why, everything that they say and do just makes it feel like laughing all the time. Golly, they're different from men. They're awfully mysterious, too. Never can be quite sure what's going on in their heads. They have a sort of wall around them all the time, of pride, sort of play acting. I bet you could know a woman 100 years without ever being really sure if she liked you or not. This minute, I'm in danger. I'm in danger of losing my job and my future and everything that people think is important. But I don't care. Even if I have to dig ditches for the rest of my life, I'll be a ditch digger who once had a wonderful day. Barney, we can't go back to Yonkers yet, and you know why?
Why not?
We've had an adventure. Been in danger. We've almost been arrested. No, we haven't. It doesn't matter. We've got one more thing to do before we go back to be successes in Yonkers.
You're never going to kiss Miss Lloyd.
Maybe.
But she'll scream.
We don't know anything at all. We might as well know right now that everybody except us goes through life kissing right and left all the time.
Well, Mama, I must find my handkerchief. Why, Mr. Hackle, I thought you were in New York.
I almost always am, Mrs. Levi. Please don't tell Mr. Vandergelder.
Old friends of Mrs. Lloyd, I suppose. And who is that? Well, who else is in here?
No one's here except us, Mrs. Levi.
Like I said, old friends of Mrs. Lloyd.
We never knew her before a few minutes ago. But we like her a lot, don't we, Barnaby? In fact, I think she's the finest person in the world, and I'm ready to tell that to anybody.
And does she think you're the finest person in the world?
No. I don't she knows that I'm alive.
Well, she must know that you're alive in that cupboard there. But Barnaby, you aren't back in there. Somebody could be coming any minute.
Dolly.
No, I was just blowing my nose.
Mrs. Malloy, I have some advice to give you about your business.
Advice from Mr. Vandergelder? The whole city should hear this.
In the first place, the aim of business is to make a profit.
Is that so?
I never heard it put so clearly. Did you hear it?
You pay those girls of yours too much. You pay them as much as men. Wages, Mrs. Malloy, are meant to be paid to someone who doesn't like doing what they are doing.
Mr. Vandergelder thinks so ably, and that's exactly the way his business is run, up in numbers.
Mrs. Malloy, I was wondering if you would like to come up to Yonkers.
That would be very nice. Oh, why wouldn't you? The fact is, I know someone from Yonkers. Someone else.
Oh, who's that?
Someone quite well-to-do, I believe. Though a little free and easy in his behavior. Mr. Vandergelder, do you know Mr. Cornelius Hackle in Yonkers?
Cornelius Hackle. I know him like I know my own boot. He's my chief clerk.
Is that so?
Where would you have known him?
Just one of those chance meetings, I suppose.
Yes, one of those chance meetings.
Cornelius Hackle has no right to chance meetings. Where was it?
Really, Mr. Vandergelder, it's unlike you to question me in such a way. I think Mr. Hackle is better known than you think he is.
Nonsense.
He's in New York often, and he's very well liked.
Well, the truth may as well come out now as later. Mr. Vandergelder, Irene is quite right. Your chief clerk is often in New York. Goes everywhere, has an army of friends. Why, everybody knows Cornelius Hackle.
He never comes to New York. He works all day in my store, and at 9 o'clock at night he goes to sleep in the brand room.
So you think, but it's not true.
Holly Gallagher, you're crazy.
Listen to me. You keep your nose so deep in your account book that you hardly know what goes on. Yes, by day, Cornelius Hackle's your faithful and trusted clerk. That's true. But by night, why, he leads a double life. He's here at the opera, in all the fashionable homes, at all the great restaurants. Why, he dines at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant 3 nights a week. The fact is, Cornelius Hackle's the wittiest, gayest, naughtiest, most delightful man in New York. Why, he's the famous Cornelius Hackle.
It ain't the same man. If I ever thought he came to New York, I'd discharge him.
Who took the horses out Jenny Lynn's carriage and pulled her through the street? Who? Cornelius Hackle. Who dressed up as a waiter on the Fifth Avenue Hotel last night and went and dropped an oyster right down Mrs. Oh no, it's too wicked to tell you.
Oh, yes, Dolly did go on.
No, but it was Cornelius Hackle.
It ain't the same man. Where'd he get the money?
But he's very rich.
Rich? I keep his money in my safe. He has $146.35.
Mr. Vandergelder, you're killing me. Do come to your senses. He's one of the Hackles.
He hackles?
Why, they built the Raritan Canal.
Then why should he work in my store?
Well, I'll tell you.
I don't want to hear. I've got a headache. It ain't the same man. Where'd he get the money? You can't get away from the facts. I just made him my chief clerk.
If you had any sense at all, you'd make him partner. Now, Irene, I can tell you were as taken with him as everybody else.
Why, I only met him once, and very hastily.
Yes, but I can tell you were taken with him. Now, don't you be going and thinking of marrying him.
Wait, Dolly, what are you saying?
Maybe okay, but think it over carefully. He breaks hearts like he brings.
Who?
Cornelius Hackle!
Oh, Mrs. Malloy, how often has he called on you?
Mr. Vandergelder, I'm telling the truth. I only met him once in my life. Dolly Levi has been exaggerating, so I don't know where to look.
Excuse me, Miss Malloy?
Yes.
I must get together that order for Mrs. Partington.
Yes, we must get that off before closing.
I was going to send it off by the air girl. Oh, I almost forgot the code.
Oh, wait, I'll do
Ah!
that.
What, Mrs. Malloy?
A man in there?
There's a very simple explanation. But for the present, good afternoon.
Crawling with men. I'll never get over it.
I can't believe my own eyes. The world is going to pieces.
Come, Mr. Vandergelder. Ernestina Simple is waiting for us.
Mrs. Malloy, I shan't trouble on you again. And vice versa.
Irene, when I think of all the interesting things you have in here, make the most of it, dear. Goodbye. Goodbye.
So that was one of your practical jokes, Mr. Hackle.
No, it wasn't.
Come out from that bar, you talker, you troublemaker. Minnie, it's all right. I know about these two men. I suppose you think just because you're rich, you can make up for all the harm you do. Is that it?
No.
Minnie, this is the famous Cornelius Hackle, who goes around New York tying people into knots. And that's Barnaby Tucker, another troublemaker. Minnie, choose yourself any hat and coat in the store. We're going out to dinner.
Pardon?
If this Mr. Hackle is so rich and gay and charming, he's going to be rich and gay and charming to us. He dines 3 nights a week at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant, does he? He's taking us there now.
Miss Malloy, are you sure it's safe?
Hold your tongue. We're in a position to put these 2 men into jail if they so much as squeak.
Jail, Mrs. Malloy?
Jail?
Jail, Mr. Hackle. Officer Kogarty does everything I tell him to do. Come with me to the workroom, Minnie. I know some ways we can perk up our appearance. Gentlemen, we'll be back in a minute.
Mrs. Malloy, I hear there's an awfully good restaurant at the railway station.
Railway station? Railway station? Certainly not. No, sir. You're going to give us a good dinner in the heart of the fashionable world. Go on, Minnie. Don't you boys forget you've made us lose our reputations. And now the fashionable world is the only place we can eat.
She's angry at us, Cornelius. He thinks that her own way.
No one's staying here. Barnaby, for a woman like that, a man could consent to go back to Yonkers and be a success.
All I know is no woman's gonna make a success out of me.
Jail or no jail, we're taking those ladies out to dinner. So grit your teeth.
Gentlemen, the cabs are at the corner. So forward march.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, Mrs. Malloy, to that part of the restaurant, couldn't we walk?
Minnie, take out your things. We're not going.
Mrs. Malloy!
Mr. Hackle, I know when I'm not wanted. I'm not very happy to have met you. Good evening.
Mrs. Malloy!
I suppose you think we're not fashionable enough for you?
No, that's not it.
Well, I won't be a burden to you. Good night, Mr. Tucker.
Mrs. Malloy, we want you to come with us more than anything in the world.
No, you don't. Look at you. Look at the pair of them, Minnie. Scowling, both of them.
Please, Mrs. Malloy.
Then smile. Go on, smile. No, that's not good enough. Come with me, Minnie. We'll get our own supper.
Smile, Barnaby, you loud!
That bitch can't smell as far to this.
Then show some interest. Do something lively. Sing.
I can't sing, really, I can't.
We're wasting our time, Minnie. They don't want us.
Barnaby, what songs do you know? All we know are sad songs.
That doesn't matter. If you want us to come out with you, you've got to sing something.
Two, three. Can't tell lady sing the song, do-da, do-da. Can't tell lady sing the song, no, do-da. Hey!
Oh, come.
Yes!
You boys go on ahead. Minnie, you get the front door. I'll lock the workroom.
Miss Malloy, hi.
Oh, Minnie, the world is full of wonderful things. Watch me, dear, and tell me if my petticoat is showing.
Now hear what I say. I don't want there to be any mistakes. I want a table for 3.
Falsely.
There will be 2 ladies and myself.
It's a bad combination, Mr. Van Doly. You'll regret it.
And I want a chicken.
A chicken? You'll regret it.
Hold your tongue. Write it down, a chicken.
Yes, sir. Chicken Esterhazy, chicken Frontier chicken à la fruit.
I don't know, a chicken like everybody else has. And with the chicken, I want a bottle of wine.
Moselle, Chablis,
There's some people coming in here now, Mr. Van Gelder.
Oh, it's my niece and that artist. What are they doing here? The traitors! The scoundrels!
Mr. Van Gelder, remember what Napoleon said?
And there's Mrs. Levi with them. Let me get my hands on them.
Oh, remember what Napoleon said, Mr. Van Gelder?
Napoleon said what?
First observe the enemy. Hi, listen. You with the plan. Napoleon, Sir V. Napoleon. Outsmart you, Mr. Van Gelder.
Now, Ermengarde, there's nothing wicked about eating in a restaurant. There's nothing wicked even about being in New York. Clergymen just come up with those things to fill out their sermons.
Oh, but I don't want to eat in a public restaurant like this.
Now, my dear girl, that's why there are some lovely private rooms upstairs just for shy, timid girls like us.
Stack, I want to write a note.
Oh yes, excuse me.
Go in there and get that cabman and bring him in here.
No one asks that advice of a cabman. Mr. Van Gelder, they see so much of life that they have no ideas left.
Do as you're told.
Yes, sir, advice of a cabman.
My dear Miss Van Heusen. Everybody's dear in the letter. It's enough to make you give up writing one. My dear Miss Van Heusen, this is Ermengarde and that rascal Ambrose Kemper. They are trying to run away. Keep them there until I arrive.
What's he want?
I want to talk to you.
I'm engaged. I'm waiting for my party.
I know you are. Tell me, do you want to earn $5?
Eh?
I asked you, do you want to earn $5?
I don't know. I never tried.
When those parties of yours come downstairs, drive them to this address. Never mind what they say. Drive them to this address. Ring the bell, give this letter to the lady of the house. Make sure they get in the door and keep them there.
I can't make people go in a house they don't want to.
For $10 you can.
Even for $10. I can't do it alone.
This fellow here will help you.
Now I'm pushing people into houses.
There's the address, Miss Flora Van Heusen, 8 Jackson Street.
Even if I get them in the door, I can't be sure they'll stay there.
For $15 you can.
Murder begins at $25.
Give that letter to the lady of the house. She'll help you. All you have to do is make sure that the man doesn't run away with the girl and sit in the front hall. I'll be there in an hour or two, and I'll pay you then.
If they call the police, I can't do anything.
It's perfectly honest business, perfectly honest. The young lady is my niece. The young lady is my niece.
Yeah.
She's trying to run away with a good-for-nothing, and we're preventing it.
Oh, I know them, sir. They'll win in the end. Rivers don't run uphill.
What did I tell you, Mr. Van Gelder? Advice of a cabman.
Stack! Make sure that this table is set for 3. Make sure nobody else eats there, then go and join the cabman in the box.
Very good, sir.
Who's your friend?
Friend? That's not a friend. That's an employer I'm trying out for a few days.
You won't like him.
I can see you in business for yourself because you talk about liking employers. No one's liked employers since business began. Ah, no, sir. I suppose you think your horse likes you?
My old Clementine, she'd give a right feet for me.
That's what all employers think. You imagine. The streets of New York full of cab horses beating at one another. Here, let's go in the kitchen and get some whiskey. I can't push people in houses when I'm sober. No, I've had about 50 employers in my life. But this is the most employer of them all. He talks to everybody up as though he were paying them.
I had an employer once. He washed me from 8 in the morning to 6 at night. Just sat there and washed me. Oh dear, even my mother didn't think I was as interesting as all that.
Yes, being employed is like being loved. You know that somebody is thinking about you the whole time.
See, here's the place I'm in. Isn't it fun? Minnie, take out your things. We'll be here for hours.
Mrs. Malloy, are you sure you like it in here? I think I feel a draft.
Yes, I do like it. We're going to have a fine dinner right in this room. It's private and it's elegant. Now, we're all going to forget all about our troubles and call each other by our first names. Cornelius. Call the waiter.
Waiter! Waiter! I can't make a sound. I must have got a call down the right. Waiter! It just won't come.
I don't believe you. Barnaby Barnaby, you call him.
Waiter! Wait!
Oh, Miss Malloy, I never thought I'd be in a place like this my whole life. Is this what they call a cafe? Yes, this is a cafe. Sit down, Minnie. Cornelius. Mrs. Levi gave us to understand that every waiter in New York knew you.
They will.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Frida. How are you, my friend? My wonderful friend?
I am Catalina.
Right. Katharina. Well, Katharina, these ladies would like a little something to eat. You know what I mean? Just if you can find the time, we know how busy you are.
Cornelius, there's no need to be so familiar with the waiter.
Oh, yes, there is.
Now, Minnie, what do you want? Oh, just everything very No, Minnie, speak up. What do you want? Oh, really? I have no clue at all. I'll have sardines and toast and lots of milk.
Great grindstones. What a sensible girl. Barnaby, shake Minnie's hands. She's the most sensible girl in the world. Would you bring us two gentlemen 2 glasses of beer, a loaf of bread, and some cheese?
I've never heard of such nonsense. Cornelius, we've come here for a good dinner and a good time. Now, Minnie, have you ever eaten pheasant? Pheasant? No. Katharina, do you have any pheasant?
Yes, ma'am. You came from New Jersey today.
Even the pheasants are leaving New Jersey. Now, Katharina, write this down. Mock turtle soup,
Mock turtle soup,
pheasant,
pheasants,
mashed chestnuts,
mashed chestnuts,
green salad,
green salad,
and some nice red wine.
red.
Now, hurry up, Katharina, we're hungry.
Yes, ma'am.
Minnie, your head would look great in horns.
Yes, Minnie, let's. Oh, come upstairs with me. Oh, my chair! Come on, come.
Hey, Cornelius. Say in the army, you have to carry horses all the time.
Don't worry about that. By the time we get out of jail, we can move right around to the old man's
Wait, what is that you have?
It's champagne, ma'am.
Cornelius, it's our champagne.
No, it's for His Honor, the Mayor of New York. He's very impatient.
Shame on him. The mayor of New York has more important things to be impatient about. Cornelius, open it.
Ma'am, he'll kill me.
Then have a glass first and die happy.
But ma'am, he'll kill me.
I come to a restaurant for the first time in 10 years, and all the waiters burst into tears. He'll kill me. Here, take this and stop crying, love.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Cornelius, can't you open a bottle of champagne?
I just have so much practice, I get too carried away.
Barnaby, make a toast.
To all the ladies in the world, may I get to know more of them and may I get to know them better.
The ladies.
Well, that's very sweet. Minnie, for that, I'm going to give Barnaby a kiss. Hold your tongue, Minnie. I'm old enough to be his mother. And a dear wee mother I would have been too. Barnaby, this is for you from all the ladies in the world.
Cornelius, I can go back to Yonkers. Pudding! Pudding! Pudding!
Barnaby, it's not strong enough for a kiss. The pet can't stand it. Oh, Minnie, I'm enjoying myself. To think that all this goes on in hundreds of places every night, and I sit at home darning my stockings. Cornelius, dance with me.
Irene, the hackers don't dance. We're Presbyterian.
Minnie, you dance with me. What's happening, Irene? Lovely music. No, I'm kidding. You dance beautifully. Oh, us girls dance in the workroom when you're not watching. You thought I'd be crossy so you could ask me to dance. Well, Cornelius, Jenny Lind, and all those other ladies. Do you see them all the time?
Irene. That put them right out of my head. I'm interested in...
Katharina, what are you doing?
A table's been reserved here. Special orders.
Stop right where you are. That party can be inside. This veranda is ours.
I'm very sorry. This veranda is open to anybody who wants it. Ah, there comes the man who blocked it over.
I've got a lovely bunch of coconut.
Get your table away from here, you. We got here first, Cornelius. Throw him out.
Now, my employer reserved this room at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Everyone can go eat in the restaurant. My employer says that it's very important to have this table alone.
No, sir. We got here first, and we're going to stay here. Alone, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a suggestion.
Shut up, you. You are an impertinent, idiotic killjoy.
That's an insult.
All the facts about you are insults. Cornelius, do something. Knock it over. The table.
Knock it over.
Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, this room can't be reserved for anyone. If you want to eat alone, you must go upstairs. I'm sorry, but that's the rule.
I'm going to stay here. Cornelius, knock it over.
Where? I'll knock him down too.
Cornelius, it's full of trout.
Listen, everybody, I think the screen is a good idea. Katharina, if you have any more screens, we can do it 3 or 4.
Quiet, Cornelius, and stop changing your mind. Hurry up, Katharina, we're ready for the soup.
Stack! What is the meaning of this? I told you we wanted to eat alone!
Mr. Vanderkiller, I did what I could. Mr. Vanderkiller, you wouldn't believe what wild savages the people of New York are. There's a woman over there, Mr. Vanderkiller. Civilization hasn't touched her.
Stack, this is all wrong! You can't even manage a simple thing like this! Help me off with my coat! Don't kill me! Don't kill me!
Speak up, I can't hear you.
It's my voice again. How's your throat, Barnaby? Can you speak? I can't make a sound.
All right, put your heads together and we'll whisper.
Who are those people over there?
Some city sparks and our girls, Mr. Vanderkiller. What goes on in big cities, Mr. Vanderkiller? Best not think of it.
I trust that couple hasn't come down from upstairs and slipped off without you noticing.
No, sir. Myself and the cabman have kept our eyes on everything.
Well then, I'll sit here and wait for my guests. Go and join the cabman in the cab.
Yes, sir. What's this? Purse. Did you drop something?
No!
Sir?
Don't bother me. Do as you're told.
A purse. That fellow there must have let it fall during a misunderstanding about the screen. I won't look inside. $20 bills. Dozens of them. I'll go over and give it to him. You're surprised? You're surprised to see me getting rid of this money so quickly, eh? Well, I'll explain it to you. There was a time in my life when my chief interest was picking money that didn't belong to me. The law is there to protect property. For sure, the law doesn't care whether a property owner deserves his property or not, and the law has to be corrected. There are several dozens of people in this country engaged in correcting the law. For a while, I too was engaged in the redistribution of superfluities. A man works all his life and leaves $1 million to his widow. She sits in hotels and eats great meals and plays cards all afternoon and evening with 10 diamonds on her fingers. Call in the robbers! Call in the robbers! Or a man might lose it to his son, who stands leaning against bars all night, boarding the bartender. Call him the robbers. Stealing's weakness. There's some people who say you shouldn't have any weakness at all, no vices. But if a man has no vices, he's in great danger of making vices out of his virtues, and there's a spectacle. We've all seen them, men who are monsters of philanthropy, and women who are dragons of purity. We've seen people who tell the truth though the heavens fall, and the heavens fell. No. Sport one vice in your bosom. Give it the attention it deserves, and let your virtues spring up modestly around it. And then, you will have the miser who's no liar, and the drunkard who's the benefactor of a whole city. Well, after I had the weakness of stone for a while, I found another. I took to whiskey. Whiskey took to me. And then I discovered this important rule that I'm gonna pass on to you. Never support two weaknesses at the same time. It's your combination sin. Your lecherous liars and your miserly drunkards who dishonor their vices and bring them into bad repute. So now you see why I want to get rid of this money. I want to free my mind to do the credit to whiskey that it deserves. And my last word to you, ladies and gentlemen, is this. One vice at a time. Excuse me, boys. Can I speak to you for a minute?
We certainly can. We don't want to apologize to you about that screen, that little misunderstanding.
It's nothing.
What's your name, sir?
Stack, sir. Malachi Stack. If you ladies will excuse me, I'd like to speak to you. Listen, boy. Have you lost something?
Mr. Stack, in this one day, I've lost everything I own.
There it is. Don't mention it.
Mr. Stack, you know what this is? It's a miracle. Barnaby, come here a minute. I want you to shake hands with Mr. Stack. He's just found the purse we lost. The purse full of money.
You're one tremendous Stack.
Don't mention it.
Mr. Stack, I know you don't need it, but can I give you something for the good work?
Don't mention it.
Take that. And that.
Don't mention it.
Oh, here, and that.
No, I might start to collect them.
And this one, too.
Nah, I better be gone.
I'm certainly glad I went to church all these years. I'm sorry, I forgot. Irene, I feel so much better about everything. I feel so much better that I want to tell the truth.
I'd forgotten that, Minnie. Men get drunk so differently from women. All right, Cornelius, what is the truth?
Irene, if I tell the truth, will you let me put my arm around your waist?
You may put your arm around my waist, just to show it can be done in a gentlemanly way. But I might as well warn you, a corset is a corset.
You're a wonderful person, Mrs. Malloy.
Thank you. Now, that's enough. What is the truth?
Irene, I almost never came to New York. I'm not rich like Mrs. Levi said I was.
Not rich.
I'm not bad like you said I was either. I think you ought to know that at this very moment, Mr. Vandergelder is sitting on the other side of that screen.
Well, now. So that's why we've been whispering. You won't ruin any party of mine. Now, we're all going to forget all about Mr. Vandergelder and have some more champagne.
Good evening, Mr. Vandergelder.
Where's Miss Simple?
Oh, Mr. Vandergelder, I'll never trust another woman as long as I live.
Well, what happened?
She ran off this afternoon and got married.
She did?
Yes, to a young boy of 50.
She did?
Oh, I'm as disappointed as you are. I can't see the thing. What have you ordered?
A chicken, like you told me to.
Oh, here's our waiter. What's your name?
August, ma'am.
August. This is Mr. Vandergelder of New York. Or Yonkers. Now, August. Mr. Vandergelder's been through some trying experiences today. Men hidden all over Mrs. Malloy's shop, like Indians in ambush.
You don't have to tell her everything about me.
Mr. Vandergelder, if you're planning on getting married, you might as well learn right now that you must let women be women. Now, August, we want excellent service.
Yes, ma'am.
You've managed things very badly. When I plan a thing, it takes place. Where are you going?
Oh, I just want to see who's on the other side of the screen.
Good evening, Mrs. Levi.
Hello!
Well, who was it?
Oh, just some city sparks entertaining their girls, I guess.
Always curious about everything. Always wanting to know everything. Always sticking your nose into other people's affairs. Anyone who lived with you would get nervous as a cat.
What? What's that you're saying?
I said anyone who lived with you would
Horace
get...
Vandergelder, you get that idea right out of your head. Why, I'm surprised you even suggested such a thing. Understand once and for all, I have no intention of marrying you.
That's not what I meant.
You've been hinting around such a thing for quite some time. But from now on, you put such ideas right out of your head.
You misunderstood me.
I
That's
hope-
not what I meant.
Oh, I hope I did. I should hope so. Horace Vandergelder, you go your way, and I'll go mine. And that's an Irene Malloy whose head can be turned by a pot of geraniums. Why, I thought you even suggested such a thing.
That's not what I meant at all.
I certainly hope not. Horace Vandergelder, if I had any intention of getting married again, it'd be to a far more pleasure-loving man than you. Why, I'd marry Cornelius Hackle before I'd marry you. However, we won't discuss any more. Here's August Buckaroo. I'll serve it, August.
Ma'am,
Oh, August, where are our plates?
I'll go grab them. Sorry.
Thank you. Oh, well, Mr. Vandergelder, I'm surprised you suggested such a thing. But we won't discuss it anymore. But since you brought the subject up, there is one more thing I am going to say.
I did not bring the subject up at all.
Sit down. We'll forget about it in a moment. Sit down. Mr. Vandergelder, there is one more thing I have to say. It's true, I'm a woman who likes to arrange things, who likes to know everything that's going on, who likes to manage things. You're right about that. But I wouldn't like to manage anything as out of control as your household, as disorderly, as untidy. Why, you ought to do that yourself, God helping you.
It's not out of control.
Very well, we won't say another word about it. Horace Vandergelder, you go your way, and I'll go mine.
Stop saying that.
I won't say another word. No, complaining, quarrelsome, friendless soul like you, no sort of companion for me.
I'm not any of those things that you just said I was.
What? Well, you're friendless, aren't you? Ermengarde told me this morning that you even quarreled with your barber, a woman who's held a razor to your throat for 20 years. Seems to me that's sinking pretty low.
Well, we just had a little discussion and I said, but my clerks, they like me.
They like you? Cornelius Hackle and that Barnaby? Behind your back, they call you a wolf trap.
They don't.
No, Horace, it seems to me as though I was the last person on earth that actually liked you. And even then, I'm so-so. No, you can find yourself a housekeeper that can prepare 3 meals for $1 a day. It can be done if you like cold baked beans. No, Horace, you spent your last days listening at keyholes for fear of someone cheating you.
Dolly, you are a damned exasperating woman.
See, that's the difference between us. I'd be nagging you all day to get some spirit into you. You can be a perfectly charming, witty, amiable man if you wanted to.
I don't want to be charming.
But you are, see, you can't hide it.
Dolly, listening at keyholes. You have no right to say such things to me.
At your age, you ought to enjoy hearing the honest truth. You and I are too old to be talking nonsense to one another.
My age, you are always talking about my age.
I don't know what your age is, but I do know that up in Yonkers with bad food and bad temper, you'll double in 6 months. Let's talk about something else. But before we leave the subject, there is one more thing I am going to say.
Don't!
Sometimes, just sometimes, I'd consider marrying you. I'm sure. And if confusion in your household gets any worse, I might have to marry you.
I haven't asked you to marry me.
Well then, please don't.
My house is not in confusion.
What, with your niece
I do not believe that it is the same man.
All right, eat your chicken. No, Horace, your affairs went from bad to worse. You became actually miserable. I feel it's my duty to come to Yonkers and be of some assistance to you. After all, I was your wife's oldest friend.
I don't know how you ever got such a notion. Now, I am tired and I do not want to talk anymore.
Irene, you better go. You take this money and pay the bill. Don't worry, it's not mine.
No, no, I'll tell you what we'll do. You boys put on our coats and hats, and when he comes stumping around the other side of that street, he'll think you're girls.
Oh, those things?
Yes, come on. Come on, Bernie.
That is an awfully noisy couple over there. Anyways, I have a headache. I'm going back home. I'm going to Miss Van Heusen's first, though. Here's the money to pay for the bill. Here's the money to pay for the... Here's the money. I lost my purse.
Impossible. I can't imagine you without your purse.
It's been stolen, I left it in the cab. I'm new at the hotel. They don't know me here. I can't pay for any of this. Stop eating the chicken. I can't pay for that.
Horace, sit down and calm yourself. I'll be able to find some money.
Dolly Gallagher, I gave you $25 this morning.
I haven't a cent left. I gave it to my lawyer this afternoon. Ambrose Kemper will lend it to us.
I wouldn't take it.
We'll borrow it from Cornelius Hackle.
He's in Yonkers.
Cornelius, is this Mr. Vandergelder's purse?
I didn't know it myself. I thought it was just money wandering around loose that didn't belong to anybody.
Goodness, that's what politicians think.
Waiter! Waiter!
Oh, Irene, doesn't Barnaby just make a lovely girl? Why should we have our evening spoiled? Cornelius, I can teach you to dance in a few minutes. Oh, Barnaby, it's the easiest thing in the world.
Of course. Listen to that music. You danced with me at my wedding and you danced with me at yours. Do you remember?
No. Yes.
You were a good dancer then. Don't tell me you're too old to dance.
I'm not too old. I just don't want to dance.
Listen to that music.
You're discharged. Not a word. You're fired. Where's that idiot Barnaby Tucker? You're discharged.
You're discharged.
You're discharged.
Mr. Vandergelder, there's your life. Without niece, without purse, without wife, without purse. Will you marry me now?
No!
Darn!
You're doing these type of things, the fun things. That's right.
Swear I heard the crap growing up before. You imagined it. Imagination. Everything in life like that. Disappointment, illusion, our plans, our hopes. What becomes of them? Nothing. Story of my life. Break out what this happened to your girl. Does it long for your Yonkers? No. Long enough for 1,000 things. We've been waiting all day. Don't you think you'll call the police about it? Police? If it's God's will, the police can't prevent it. Oh, in 3 days, in a week, in a year, we'll know it's happening. Anything really terrible has happened to Ermengarde. It'll be a lesson to him. That's what it'll be. To who? To that cruel uncle of hers, of course. To Horace Vandergelder. And to anyone else who tries to separate young lovers. Young lovers have enough to contend with as it is. Who should know better than I? No one. Story of my life. There, I hear that. Quick. Oh, ma'am, I don't see anything. There. What did I tell you? Everything's imagination. Illusion. But surely Mr. Vandergelder changed his plans. He would have sent you a letter. Oh, I know what the matter is. The poor child probably thought she was coming to another prison, to another tyrant. If she only would have known I was her friend, and a friend to all young lovers, she would be here by now. Yes, she would. Cook?
A minute ago, my smelling salts were right here, and now they have completely disappeared.
They're there, ma'am. Right there in your hands.
Goodness! How did they get there? I would inquire. Stranger things have happened.
Well, surely Mr. Vanderbilt is sending her down to someone.
Two can go astray as easily as...
God bless you. I hear a cab coming.
Go into it, cook. It's probably a...
God bless you.
It's almost as though I hear voices.
You can't make the person go where he doesn't want to go!
Begging your pardon, ma'am. Are you Miss Van Heusen?
Yes, I am. Unfortunately. Who are you? What's all the noise about?
There are two people in here now that Mr. Van Gelder said must be brought to this house and kept here until he comes. And here is his letter to you.
No one has any right to tell me who I should keep in my house if they don't want to stay.
That's right, man. Everybody's talking about breaking in houses. There are more people in this world that want to break out of houses. That's what I have to say. Bring them in, Joe.
Come on, you keep going.
This young lady and I have no business here. We jumped into a cab and asked to be driven to the station, and these men brought us here and forced us to come inside. There's been a mistake.
Are you Miss Van Heusen?
Everyone is asking me if my name is Miss Van Heusen. I think if that's a matter I can decide for myself. Now, everyone, pick me so I can read this letter. This is Ermengarde and that rascal Ambrose Kemper. Well, I know who you two are anyways. And they're trying to run away. Story of my life. You have nothing to do. Who are you?
I'm Joe. I stay here till the old man gets back. He owes me $15.
That's right, man. We must stay here to see that they don't escape.
My dear, take off your things, and we'll go into the kitchen and have some coffee. Well, you two go wait out in the hall. We'll send some coffee out to you later. Cook?
Ma'am, we're not the people you're expecting, and there's no reason...
Mr. Kemper, I am not the tyrant you think I am.
I know, but...
You don't have to be afraid of me. I know you're trying to run away with this innocent girl. My dear, because all my life I've suffered from the interference of others. You shall not suffer as I have, so put yourself entirely in my hands. Now, I will go draw a good hot bath for Ermengarde.
I don't know, just take the bath, go. What?
Now, my young child, let us go give you a bath. It's nearly ready.
I'll catch a cold.
Oh, no, you won't catch a cold, dear. I'll slap you all over.
Miss Van Heusen, I know we...
I'll be back in a minute.
I don't know what to do, Barnaby. Do you think we could jump out this window?
Ha! Yes, we kill ourselves.
We'll just have to wait here and watch for something to happen. The situation's desperate.
It began getting desperate at 4:30 and getting worse ever since. Now I have to take a bath and get slapped all over.
Ermengarde! You still have those wet things on? Your bath is nearly ready. Mr. Kemper, come and put your feet in the oven. What's that? It's the doorbell. I expect it's your uncle.
There's the doorbell.
Well,
What's a cab and another man and a woman?
we'll go let them in, cook. Come along.
I want to take a bath. I did one on Saturday.
Oh,
on my door, regard, but I better go before she sees me.
Oh, no, no, you must stay. I feel so strange here.
I know, but Mr. Vandergelder will be here in a minute.
Ambrose, you can't go.
Ambrose, you can't go.
Crazy house drunken men in the hall. Ambrose, let's say you're someone else that Uncle sent to take care of me. Let's say you're Cornelius Hack.
Who's Cornelius Hack?
You know, he's chief clerk in Uncle's store.
I don't want to be Cornelius Hack. Come away with me now, regard. I'll take you to my friend's house, or Miss Levi's house.
Why, it was Mrs. Levi who was trying to Uncle Horace's face. Oh, I wish I were back in Yonkers where nothing ever happens.
I thought I told you two to wait in the hall.
I'm Flora. Don't you remember me? I'm Ermengarde.
And you're Mr. Vandergelder's niece.
Yes, I am.
But he just sent me another niece named Ermengarde.
He doesn't.
And who is this?
This is Cornelius Huckleberry, Flora.
Never heard of him.
He's chief clerk in Uncle's store.
Never heard of him. And the other Ermengarde came with the man she's in love with. Mr. Ambrose Kemper.
Ambrose Kemper?
Yes, Mr. Hackle and Ambrose Kemper. And that proves it. Oh, my dear child, what is the trouble?
Oh dear, nobody's anybody anymore.
Are you in love with this man?
Yes, I am.
I can see it. And are people trying to separate you?
Yes, they are.
I can see it. Who? Horace Vandergelder.
Yes.
Mr. Hackle, think of me as your friend. Now we'll all go into the kitchen and get warm. My dear, would you like a good hot bath?
Yes, I would.
Well, when Ermengarde comes out, you can go in.
Miss Van Heusen?
Why, Mr.
Not
Hack.
yet. I'll explain
Mr.
everything.
Hackle, Mr. Hackle, this is Cornelius Hackle. Mr. Hackle, this is Ambrose Kemper. Perhaps you two know one another?
No, we don't. Miss Van Heusen, I know that man is not Ambrose Kemper. He's not Cornelius Hackle.
My dear young man, what does it matter what your names are? The important thing is that you are you and you are alive and breathing. Aren't you, Mr. Hackle?
Ouch. Miss Van Heusen.
And this dear child imagines she is Horace Vandergelder's niece, Ermengarde.
But I am.
The important thing is you are all in love. Everything else is illusion.
Miss Van Heusen.
Everyone keeps asking me if my name is Miss Van Heusen. Gentlemen, you have a nice chat. Well, I give Ermengarde a good hot bath.
What are you trying to do to me? Who do you think you are? I'm Cornelius Hackle. That's all I have to hear.
Gentlemen, you can rest easy. I'll make sure Horace Vandergelder lets his nieces marry you both.
Flora, darling, how are you?
Darling Gallagher, what brings you here?
Great heavens, Flora, who are those drunken men in your entryway?
I don't know. Horace Vandergelder sent them to me.
Well, I brought you two girls in much the same condition. Otherwise, they're the finest girls in the world. I would like you to meet Irene Malloy and Mrs. Minnie Fay.
Delighted to know you.
Oh, gentlemen, I see you're here. I was about to look for you somewhere here, Cornelius.
Not anymore, Mrs. Levi. I'm ready to face anything now.
I hope so. Mr. Vandergelder is downstairs trying to pay for a cat without any money.
Oh, I'll take care of that.
Oh, would you, dear? You must have hundreds of dollars in there considering you had to pay the restaurant bills.
This is his own purse he lost. I can't give it back to him without seeing
I'll pay you tomorrow.
I see. Here, you help him with this. I'll give him back his purse.
I'll take care of that, Mr. Vandergelder.
Hello, Mr. Vandergelder. How are you?
$15, Mr. Vandergelder.
You're discharged. You two. Oh, I finally caught up with you at last. I never want to see you again. You're discharged. Both of you out of the house.
Now you stop ordering people out of my house. You can shout and carry on in Yonkers, but when you are in my house, you will behave yourself.
They're both dishonest scoundrels.
Take off your hat.
explain.
There aren't going to be any explanations. Mr. Vandergelder, you stop scowling at Mr. Kemper and forgive him.
That's not Kemper. That's a dishonest rogue named Cornelius Hackle.
You're crazy. That's Cornelius Hackle.
I guess I know my own chief clerk.
I don't care what their names are. You shake hands with both of them or out you go.
Shake hands with those dogs? Those scoundrels?
Mr. Vandergelder, you've had a hard day. You don't want to go out in the rain now. Just for form's sake, shake hands with them. You can begin quarreling again tomorrow.
There! Don't regard that as a handshake. I never want to see you again!
Miss Van Hazel,
Yes, dear.
do I smell coffee?
Yes, dear.
Can I have some good and black?
Let's all go into the kitchen and have some coffee. Horace, you will be interested to know there are 2 Ermine guards in there.
Ephraim Levi, I'm going to get married again. Ephraim, I'm going to marry Horace Vandergelder for his money. I'm going to send his money out doing all the things that you taught me. Oh, it won't be a marriage in the sense that we had one. But I shall certainly make him happy. And Ephraim, I'm tired. I'm tired of living from hand to mouth without asking your permission. Ephraim, will you give me away? Money, money, money. It's like the sun that we walk under. It can kill and it can cure. Horace Vandergelder's never tired of saying that most of the people in the world are fools. And in a way, he's right, isn't he? Himself, Irene, Cornelius, myself. But there comes a time in everyone's life when they must decide whether to live among human beings or by themselves. A fool among fools or a fool alone. As for me, I've decided to live among them. I wasn't always so. After my husband died, I retired into myself. Yes, in the evening, I'd let out the cat and lock the door and make myself a little rum toddy. And before I go to bed, I'd say a prayer thinking God that I was independent and that no one else's life was mixed up with mine. And when 10 o'clock sounded from the Trinity Church tower, I'd fall off to sleep and was a perfectly contented woman. Until one night, after 2 years of this, an Oakley fell out of my Bible. I had placed it there the day that my husband had asked me to marry him. A perfectly good Oakley, but without life and without color. And suddenly I realized that for a long time I had not shed a single tear, nor had I, for one moment, been outrageously happy, nor had I felt that wonderful hope that something would turn out well. I was like that Oakley, and on that night, I decided to rejoin the human race. On that night, I heard many hours struck from the Trinity Church tower. We've all known people, like Horace Vandergelder, like myself for a long time, who decided not to have anything to do with the human race. Yes, they move among them, they talk to them, why they'd even marry them. But in their heart, they have no desire to be among human beings. If you accept human beings and are willing to live among them, you acknowledge the fact that every man has a right to his own mistakes. We're all fools, and we're all in danger of creating a great deal of havoc in the world with our folly. And the only way to keep us from harm is to fill our lives with those 4 or 5 pleasures that are our right in the world. And that takes a little money. Not a lot, but a little. The difference between a little money and no money at all is very slight and can shatter the world. And the difference between a little money and an enormous amount of money is also very slight and can also shatter the world. Money, pardon my expression, money is like manure. It's worth nothing unless it's spread out, encouraging young things to grow. Anyways, that's the opinion of the second Mrs. Horace Vandergelder.
Miss Van Heusen
been going on in the kitchen?
Oh, a lot of foolishness. Everybody's falling in love with each other. I forgave Ermengarde, that artist.
I knew you would, too.
Yes, please. I made Cornelius Hackle my partner.
You won't regret it.
Dolly, you said a lot of unpleasant things about me in the restaurant today. All that about my house and everything.
Let's not say another word about it.
Dolly, you have a lot of faults.
Oh, I know what you mean.
You're bossy, you're scheming, you're inquisitive, you're,
Go on.
but you're a wonderful woman, Dolly. Marry me!
No, Horace, stop right there.
I know I was a fool about Mrs. Malloy and that other woman, but Dolly, forgive me and marry me.
No, Horace, I don't dare.
Well, what do you mean?
Horace, you know as well as I do that any wife of yours would have to keep an open house, would have to have scores of friends in and out all the time. Any wife of yours should be used to that sort of thing.
Dolly, you can live any way you'd like.
Horace Vandergelder, your wife would have to be a somebody. And to me, my somebody.
You are wonderful woman.
Oh, you're partial. Horace, it won't be enough for you to load your wife with jewels and money, to insist that she be a benefactress to half the town. Do you really think I have it in me to be a credit to you?
Dolly, everybody knows you could be anything you wanted to be.
I'll try. With your help, I'll try. And by the way, I found your purse.
Where did you? Wonderful woman!
It just walked into my hand. I don't know how I do it. I scare myself sometimes. Take it, Horace. Money walks out of my hands too.
Keep it. Keep it.
Horace, I never thought I'd hear you say a thing like that.
Oh, excuse me, I didn't know anyone was here.
Didn't know anybody was here. Idiot!
It's okay, Martin. Come in.
Come in, Barnaby. Come in.
Well, Cornelius is getting married Miss Malloy.
Isn't that wonderful, Horace?
Barnaby, go in there and tell everyone that Mrs. Levi has consented.
Finally consented.
Finally consented to be my wife.
Hey, everyone, hold crap at me. Mr. Vandergelder is gonna marry Miss Levi.
Dolly, that's the best news I've ever heard. Oh, yeah. There isn't any more gingerbread, and there isn't any more coffee. But there are 3 couples in the house tonight that are going to get married. And would you know that one of those Ermengardes was not a dear little girl at all? She was a boy. That's life. Disappointment, illusion, story of my life.
There isn't any more gingerbread, and there isn't any more coffee, and there isn't any more play. But there is one more thing that we do have to do. Barnaby, come here. I think the youngest person here ought to tell us what the moral of the play is.
I think it's about adventure. The test of adventure is when you're in the middle of it, you say to yourself, oh no, now I've got myself in this awful mess. I wish I was sitting quietly at home. And the sign that something's wrong with you is when you're sitting quietly at home, wishing you had lots of adventure. So we'd all like to thank you for coming tonight, and we all hope your lives have just the right amount of sitting quietly at home and just the right amount of adventure.